Now, if you're struggling at poker as a beginner, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to be a beginner. Let's say you've been playing for 3 to 5 years, mainly online, and you're just not getting good results, then I do have some advice you need to hear. Now, just to give you a background on myself, I've been playing for probably close to 20 years, mainly online. I do play a little bit live, but when I do play live, I like to play a little bit higher stakes. Because I just don't have the patience to play like 1-2 or 2-5 live. It's just so boring. Even 5-10 to me, kind of boring these days. But the thing is, like, you get to a point playing this game where you start moving up in stakes a little bit. You start to realize as you move up in stakes, players do get better. And especially in today, like the way things are with online poker, everyone's got a lot of knowledge on the game. You can learn all types of strategies, GTO, whatever. And it is good to know all the strategies, don't get me wrong. But really, the breakthrough that you're going to have playing this game is when you start to realize that it's got nothing to do with having like one or two strategies. What this comes down to is just outplaying the people at your table. And to do that, you got to be bluffing. You got to be good at putting people on ranges, and you got to know how to get value off of players in certain hands, and also when to fold. These are all little things, right? You get better at them over time. It's not something that's just going to happen in the course of a week or 2 weeks or a few months, but this is the thing. If you stick with this and you kind of stick with me here, we're going to go over some really interesting hands in this. Recommend sticking around to the end because like I said, we got some good stuff, but we also have a group now where you can talk to me one-on-one as well as some other high-level members that'll be in the pinned comment. And, I'm just saying because, like, I understand the frustrations of, you probably have a strong passion for playing. I do as well, but I understand the pain. I understand the pain of losing, not getting results, all that kind of stuff, and it stinks, right? And sometimes we got to just, like, dig down and understand like maybe we have some leaks and maybe there are just some things we're not good at, like handling our emotions. I think handling your emotions, not just playing poker, but in life, man, it's a skill. And if you don't handle your emotions well, you're just never going to be able to excel at this. Understanding variance is a part of the game, being able to take a bad beat and kind of still play at a high level without letting it affect you. These are things that are not easy to do. But you can get better at a lot of this stuff. You can improve. It just takes, a consistent amount of effort on your part. I think a lot of people, what they do is they'll play for a little bit and, then they won't play for like three months to maybe like a year. And then they'll hop back into it thinking like, all right, I'm just going to crush. And then it doesn't happen. It's kind of like the same process over and over again, and that's the thing, man. If you don't stick with it, then I don't know what to tell you. It's not something you can kind of just pick up and put down. You got to be constantly working on things. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And I understand, man. I definitely understand the pain of struggling. It is frustrating. But, the good news is you can improve, okay? You can get there. But you got to want to get there. I don't think everybody does. I think a lot of people play this game for the entertainment value, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I think some people, and I think it's not just some people, I think we all are trying to win, right? We're all trying to get there. Another thing that I like to do is when I play this, I don't like check my results on, like a weekly or daily basis. It's always like on a monthly basis. That way I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on myself. I also recommend never playing more than 2 tables at a time because, you need to focus on the games you're playing. I think you can get to a point where you could probably stack 3 or 4 tables, but it's not for everybody. And even though I will play, 4 tables at a time, a lot of the time, I've definitely noticed like I'm a lot more focused when I'm just playing a couple. I'm better able to make better plays, less mistakes. That's what I'm saying. But anyways, I could go on here, but I just recommend you guys kind of stick with me to the end of this so we can just kind of go over some of this stuff and check out the pin comment for the community. All right. Anyways, 8-3 offsuit here. Not playing this one. Player 2 went for some value, and he had a pair of aces. Worked out for him. Nice job. All right, here we have an ace-5 offsuit in the big blind. Definitely going to make a call here as long as there's not like a big re-raise. And we'll take it from there. Okay, so I think player 2 is going to come along here. Let's see. Maybe he folded. No, he folded. Okay. All right, I'm going to make a call. And let's see if we got anything here. We did not. Depending on what player 4 does here, kind of hard to continue. But he did check it. Kind of gave us an option here if we wanted to do something. I just checked it back, hoping to go to showdown here. I mucked it. Let's see if we would have got there on the river. We would have. Wow, I should have made that call. That was rough. That was a rough one, guys. Ooh, should have made that call. Would have been nice. Anyways, we're going to let that one go. We made a bad play right there. It happens. All right, so we had an ace-queen offsuit. I think maybe I raised this one up. No, I just called it. All right, so this was a tricky hand for us. So we did hit top pair here. Player 6 is going to go for it. And I'm just going to call. Really, we're hoping to see a turn card, no diamond, because we're not blocking diamonds with our ace-queen. Maybe like a deuce, or I'd even take like a 10 or a jack on the turn would be fine, as long as it's not a diamond. We don't want to see a king. A king wouldn't be a good one for us. Ace would be good, but a king did hit on the turn. Kind of putting us in a weird spot here, you know. Kind of hoping to go check here to showdown. Sometimes this guy will check it back, other times not. And I think he's going to put out a pot size here. Let's see. No, not quite that. I called it. River card was a 2. So let's check it out. So a lot of draws missed. If this guy's had a hand like ace-10, ace-jack, diamonds. But he bet, I mean, he threw a 86 piece on the river there. And that was definitely a good sizing. I think he probably had a king there, guys. It felt like it. I just don't know if he's going to make that play if he doesn't. I feel like if he had a queen, he might just check it back, but you know, it is what it is. Folded it, so made a couple of tough folds here. I don't know if you want to say they were disciplined folds. Maybe I made the wrong decision, but you know, it is what it is. It's the play I made, and we're gonna kind of just keep moving on here. But like I said, it's gonna get better, so don't go anywhere. And yeah, we're gonna see some interesting hands here still. A little choppy to start things, though. Excuse me, a little hiccup right there. All right, so we got the queens. We got the queens. We will take it. We will bake it. We will bake these queens. All right. Player 2 taking his time here. All right, so yeah, kind of frustrating when somebody does this. All right, so we're just going to open it to 1250, a little 1250 piece chicken nug right here. Dip it in some BBQ. And player 1 is going to make the call. This is actually a pretty safe flop, too. Could be wrong. All right, yeah, so A3-7 board. Feeling pretty good about this. Player 1 is going to, I think, check it over. We're going to put out a little sizing right here, 13. I think he's going to call, and let's see what the turn card was. We don't want to see a king or an ace. That much I can say. And it was a king. Yeah, king on the turn. Now, not necessarily worried about that. This guy You know, it doesn't feel like he has it. River card was a deuce. I got to imagine we're good here. I think this guy might have a pair of eights or a pair of sevens. So I was going to go for some value here on the river, but I think that he's going to throw something out there. Let's see. It was one or the other here, but I'm pretty sure. I was sort of sure I put something out there. Let's see. Yeah, he checked it. When he checked it, I kind of knew we were good here. I was just trying to figure out how much I could squeeze out of this guy. I kept it small. I think this is a very confusing 25 piece right here. I think this guy's got no idea what I have, and I think that he's probably going to call us down with just a pair here, like 8, 7, even a pair of threes. Who knows? But yeah, he's gonna make the call here, and we took it down and kind of making our way back a little bit here. So that was kind of nice. All right, here we had an ace-10 offsuit. Made a huge bluff right here. Hope you guys are ready for this one. Going for the bluff. The bluff. The bluff. All right, we did pair the ace, and you notice I said the bluff. The reason I said that was because check out what's going to transpire in a second here. All right, so player one's going to throw out 20. I'm going to call. Player four is going to raise this. Now, the raise to me said a couple things. This is a draw type of raise, and the draws we could be looking at here, 7-5, 7-9. The question is, how do I want to play it? And I played it like this. Not putting this guy in a set, he wouldn't have played it like that. It just felt like a draw, but it turned out to just be a bluff. So anyways, he folded it. If he was on some kind of weird hard draw, we still probably would have taken that down. He would have been running pretty bad there. To go to the river would have been huge favorites. So I don't hate the way I played that at all. I think it was totally fine, and it was a strong play. It was strong. We're flexing. All right, next time we had eights. Player four is probably not feeling too good about that last one. He's going to kick it up to 40, and we are just going to make a call here. See if we can get an 8. I think we're due here. We're due for an 8. Let's make it happen. Okay, not an 8 out there, but we're still going to be ahead of a lot of different hands. You know, a lot of ace kings, ace queen. You know, that was actually a good turn card for us. This guy's probably thinking ace high is good at this point. I decided to check it, though. I should have thrown something out there. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Didn't play that one too good, if you ask me, and it is what it is. Next hand, we had pocket kings, hoping to get something going here. I mean, and you know what? I wouldn't say I'm playing, like, super good. I'm not playing bad either. I guess I was just playing a little bit too cautious, especially with that last hand, which I don't necessarily think is bad. Sometimes when you guys are playing and you're not, like, sure, then yeah, I think, you know, checking it back, going to showdown's okay. You don't have to take it there all the time. All right, here we've got a king-queen suited. Nice looking hand. Another hand I probably could have played a little bit better, but, you know, maybe not. Maybe this was the best of my abilities right here. Hard to say. And I think I'm going to be the one that raises this up. Let's see. All right, player one taking a while there. Player two, what you gonna do? Player two, what you gonna do? All right, so here we go. We're gonna go for the 1250 piece. Let's see if player four raises up again. Player 4 just not having any of it, I guess. He's going to kick it up to 40 again. We're obviously going to make a call here. You might argue raising this. Problem is, if he goes all in, I don't want to get stuck making a tough decision. So we're just going to call here. I think calling's fine. All right, flop is going to be a good one. Not a lot of hands to worry about here. Obviously, ace-king would be pretty brutal at this point. Not going to be thinking like that. I just think player 4 is just having a rough go at it, and he's just kind of mixing it up. You know, personally, that's what I think. Turn card was a 9. It was a good card. Not really going to change a whole lot here. Now we don't really have to worry about ace-king because we still have the boat. And I'm just kind of waiting to see what he does here, okay? I had some sneaky ideas for the river here, which wasn't, you know, see, I just called here, okay? River card's a 6. I checked it back one time, which I shouldn't have done. I should have put something out there. He probably would have called with an ace high anyways, and we ended up taking that hand down. The thing is, though, guys, man, that's probably the one thing I regret. We probably could have squeezed out another 100-piece chicken nugget right there. Dipping it into some BBQ, you know, feeling pretty stuffed probably after that because a 100-piece chicken nugget, that's what I'm talking about right there. But we could have, you know what I mean? So whatever. All right, ace-10 offsuit. Continue sticking around, guys, because we are not done yet. We are not done yet here at all. Going to open up here with an ace-10 off. I don't know if anybody's going to call. Let's see. I'd imagine someone's going to make a call here, you would think. You would think. All right, back over to player 2. Okay, and nada, guys, nada. All right, jack 10. We do have at least one or two more big hands coming up here, so we're not done yet. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to message me and I'll get back to you. Also, if you could just tap the like if you're still watching, because definitely appreciate it. All right. All right, player 4 is going to kick up to 10. We got jack 10. Of course, we're making a call here. Not what we wanted to see. We would definitely need some runner cards. I don't think I'm going to continue, though, even though he kept it really small. Turn card would have been a king. Kind of interesting. I think folding was fine, though. All right, jack 5 suited. This hand's definitely playable. Player 5 was doing really good. Look at him, man. He is rolling. He's doing good. It's a good day right there for player 5. We're doing okay as well, but I mean, look at him, man. He's up a lot. Didn't realize that. Nice work. All right, so I folded it. Could have made a call here. Didn't want to get involved with this one, and we move on. I think calling there is fine. I think I just didn't want to play it for whatever reason. All right, now here we go with the 8-9 suited, and this was a hand that I think could have gone a couple different ways. You'll understand why, but I'm going to raise it up, obviously 8-9 suited. We're also really deep in this, so if somebody raises us like player 4 has been the entire time we've been playing, we're going to make a call. He kicked it up a little bit higher this time. Normally he's been going 40-piece, but he went to the 55-piece. We called, and look at that flop. Very nice. Couple things, though. I'm thinking about slow playing this more than anything, but I am obviously going to be worried about another diamond hitting the board. He could have an ace here, very likely, okay? Turn card was a 4. He's going to go for a pretty big sizing here, and this is where I figured, you know what, if you're going to go this big, you're probably going to make this call. He could have a lot of hands like ace-queen with a queen of diamonds, ace-king with a king of diamonds, even some ace-jacks with a jack of diamonds here that might make this call. Our play looks really strong, so I mean, I don't blame him for folding, but, you know, I'm definitely thinking like he's got an ace, but does he have a diamond to go with the ace? Anyways, he ended up folding it, and turn card would have been a 4 of diamonds, so I'll tell you guys what. I think our play was warranted right there, because if I would have just called that with the diamond hitting on the river, our hand could have been counterfeited if he had really any diamond higher than a 9. Okay. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed another one here. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out the pinned comment for the community. Tap that like, and we'll see you in the next one.